I began to ask questions to know what was actually happening about my wife and I, and why she was behaving like the way she was doing. For me, I like to sometimes share my problems with people. Maybe that's a weakness that I have. So I met few people, some of them close to the president, and I share my problem with them. And some deliberately told me that, look, the woman behaving like that because the papa eating your Jew. I got broken down looking at the kind of way things were between the president and I, and how things were happening. Sometimes I speak to him, he don't speak to me, and the way my wife too behaved to me. And after everybody talked to her, she couldn't listen to it. I just supposedly believed what the people told me without actually going about to do my own investigation or seeking God. I became so emotional about the situation. I reached out to some securities and they told me, my man, you got to leave the country. Because when you stay here, so long as men know that you and your wife going on, definitely they're going to get rid of you. So that morning, I called Estella and I lied to her that I'm sick, that I wanted to go for medication. And just so that she couldn't ask me too many questions, so that I could leave the country. Because I didn't want to tell her this very story. She has been my own partner that I always confide in. But if I had told her this, she was going to tell me, boy, man, don't believe it, and not true. So I just decided not to tell Madam Liberty Kemu, not to share it with her. So I went home that morning, packed my things from the office, took few things, got in my car and I left. I crossed over to Sierra Leone. When I crossed over to Sierra Leone, I formally tendered my letter of resignation to the president. When I resigned, I did not indicate that, Mr. President, I'm leaving your government because of this thing. I told the president I was leaving because of XYZ. But the main crux of the matter that I had decided to leave the government was because of what this individual told me. Some of you will say, oh man, you stupid, you shouldn't have done that. Yes, it is true. But at that time, I was so emotional. At that time, I just couldn't believe anything otherwise. Looking at, and I can understand the point, the matter, the stain, or the situation at a given time. So I decided to tender that letter of resignation. When I resigned, a big brother called me. But before that, I had already confided in few other guys that I will not mention their name now. That, look, this is what somebody told me that is going on between the president and my wife. And looking at the way my wife been behaving to me, after everybody now talked to her, she can't listen, including my neighbors are getting involved. She don't want to listen. She keep telling me I can't enter the house. So I believe what they're saying. Maybe because that's the only thing I can make any woman to stand to you like that. But I don't want you to publish it. Let's keep it to our chest. I'm still investigating. I have formally resigned from the government. I will investigate. If it is true, then definitely we can publish it. So this big brother called me, and I made a similar revelation to him. Big brother Molly passed away. Molly passed away, and I come a long way. I met him through the late Lawrence Brando. Lawrence introduced him to me, said, my man, our papa, our big brother here. And we began from LMC, Journalists for Human Rights. Then he went to Capital FM. We had this good relationship. I saw him like a big brother. I saw him like a father, somebody that I could talk to. So when he called me, I confided in him. Unfortunately for me, Molly passed away, recorded my voice, and published it on Molly recorded my voice and published it on Facebook. When Molly did that, then that really got the president angry. People started publishing it that, oh, the president, XYZ, Burma, JV, Burma, wife, and this. Then that got the president very angry, and I was fired because I had requested I want to resign in December. But the president got angry by that revelation that I made to Molly. and dismissed me. And I decided to move on. The next day, I spoke on Costa's platform. Costa asked me, and actually, I could not tell him emphatically that the president was going on with my wife, but I told him that this is something that I will not also dispute. This is something that I will not say it is true, it is not true. Because from what my wife was doing to me, I could believe it. But today I've come to say that having done my own investigation, having prayed about it, I've come to say that indeed the president never had any affairs with my wife. This was a clear manifestation. This was a clear attempt by a few people who believe they could use that situation with my wife to know and sometimes get emotional to get me out. I know how difficult this is to do, but I owe God a whole great deal of sincerity. I owe my wife a whole great deal of apology for the ridicule she went through, the disgrace she went through, all of the molestation she went through. I want to say sorry to you, Willamida. I know this is difficult for you to accept. I know it's painful for you to accept. But I'm here to sincerely apologize to you. I'm here to sincerely say, Mr. President, I'm sorry. I'm here to sincerely apologize to you from the bottom of my heart. I hold nothing against you. I'm not saying this to gain your favor again.